This is a 13 Sports special presentation. 13 Men, a Washburn Championship season. Brought to you by Ed Bozarth Chevrolet. Now, here is 13 Sports Director Mark Ewing.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the northeast corner of Lee Arena. What a great season it was for the Ichabods. 29 wins, 5 defeats, and I'm going to tell you they strung along a series of 3 championships, the MIAA Championship, the MIAA Postseason Championship, the South Central Regional, and you know what? They ended up at the doorstep of the National Championship, the trophy that they won recently in Bakersfield, California. Steve G. looks back at the season that was a season to remember.
Mark, what a season it was for the Ichabods, yet so many memorable moments happened away from Lee Arena, starting last summer in Paris and ending last week in Bakersfield. And along the way, there was a trip to Vegas and some key moments away from home. The Ichabods went to Paris for exhibitions, Vegas for competition, and they pulled out all the stops before their game at Allen Fieldhouse, although it really didn't matter. They lost by 40. There were other losses off the court. Ryan Murphy's father, Doug, died December 30th. And former Ichabod Scott Dermeyer passed away February 19th. Why talk about setbacks in a season of highlights? Because a defeat in Pittsburgh turned the season around.
I could just see it in everybody's eyes, like, you know, they were like, let's make our run now. Like, we just started playing so well from then on.
Following that loss came 11 straight victories, including Bob Chipman's 500th career win. Then 2 days later, a buzzer beater by Iwan O'Geese at Truman State. And a week after that, it was B.J. Ross's turn for heroics.
There's about 5-10 seconds left in the game, and I just tried to penetrate. It was an open lane, and it's a big shot for our team, and just try to carry the momentum on throughout the rest of the year.
On senior night, Northwest Missouri State snapped Washburn's winning streak, but the Ichabods had the last laugh. A week later, they beat the Bearcats to win the MIAA tournament, setting up another rematch in the championship game of the NCAA South Central Regional.
It's tough to play a team 4 times, nonetheless beat them 3 out of the 4, which we're happy with. But yes, we kind of got used to each other a little bit and maybe started a little bit of a rivalry for next year even.
The Ichabods became one of the Elite 8 with a 67-61 win. And in Bakersfield, they were ready for the nation's best. In the first game, they opened up a 16-point lead on Johnson C. Smith, then withstood a furious rally to win 70-64. The following night's game against Western Washington followed a similar script. Murphy had a big first half. O'Geese was huge in the second, but again it came down to the end. In just a minute and a half, the Vikings cut a 17-point lead down to 2. Again, the Ichabods hung on, and with the 96-90 victory, they were headed to the championship game, where this time they had to play catch-up. Kentucky Wesleyan led by 16 at the half, but Randolph Williams trimmed it to 3 with less than 5 minutes to go. And then the magic ended. The Panthers took home the trophy, but the Ichabods took home local and national admiration for their season. The Nets are back up here at Lee Arena after the Ichabods cut them down following their MIAA tournament win and their NCAA regional victory. And if next season goes as hoped, don't expect these Nets to stick around very long.
Thanks, Steve. Along the way, Washburn win 21 of its last 23 games, its first ever trip to the Elite 8 championship game, which they would lose to Kentucky Wesleyan. When we return, we talk with Bob Chipman, the man that has made Washburn basketball what it is when 13 Men continues.
I mean, it's been a wonderful experience because, I mean, Coach is a really good practice coach. I mean, he's one of the best coaches I've played for.
He comes in every day as a professional. He comes in knowing exactly what he wants to get done, and he expects it out of you.
I mean, he's a great motivator. He gets the best out of his players, and he keeps them working hard every day, and you just get better and better in this program, and you see it paid off with our group.
It gave me an opportunity to come play, and even though I didn't get to play that much, it was still a great opportunity. I did a lot of traveling. I've made lifelong friends. Anytime you're a part of a college basketball team, that's always going to happen. And so I was just grateful for that opportunity.
He's a winner, and I love being around winners. And by looking at his record the day I was signing, I said, I want to go somewhere that I can learn something more in basketball and in life. And Coach Chipman is that person.
And welcome back, folks, to our program honoring Washburn University's basketball accomplishments. You think of Washburn University, you think of Bob Chipman. That's because he's been the head coach for 22 seasons here. In fact, you came to the university in 1976, right? Tell us about your beginnings and why you've been here so long.
Well, recently when people have been introducing me, they're calling me a Topeka treasure, Mark. A treasure, you know, you got to be pretty old to be a treasure. I really came here out of K-State thinking I'd be here for 1 year. Ed Head, Helen Hawker, Glenn Kafer, all responsible for getting me here. And I thought it'd be a 1 year deal. And I liked it. I really like coaching, like Coach K for the program. All of a sudden he becomes the AD. I become the head coach at age 27. Things just keep getting better. The players are great. The team wins. And oh man, the last 22 years now have flown by. And of course this year with this team, it really flew by.
You begin the season, 16 wins, shy of number 500. As you started to gather close to that number, did you start to reflect about your years here, and what did that mean to win number 500?
Really just worried about winning that game that particular night. Even though people have mentioned that I've been here a while, I still feel relatively young. I still feel like my best coaching years are ahead of me. Not really reflecting back at all, just kind of worried about this particular team, that particular game, us getting better, us doing the right thing. So, you know, now thinking back about it, I mean, I think it was tremendous to get the 500th win with this particular team. This team made the 500 legitimate because people were coming out watching this team and they are great. And they're thinking, wow, Coach Chipman must be great. 500 victories, look at this great team. So. Now looking back, I mean, it was just a special year to get to 500 with this group doing it.
You talked about a special team very early on. I remember the very first practice, you said this team has a chance to be a very special team. And you weren't talking about just their accomplishments on the floor, but the fact that they were good people, they were bright people. They really came together.
We knew we had great chemistry, and we knew that we were awfully close last year. And everyone coming back except David Byers, and we added a couple players. So we knew. We knew what we had, tremendously hard workers, great team players, and enough talent, and we knew it was special, and you're just hoping that you play well at the right time and no injuries, which we were able to do, and keep advancing, which these guys did, and it made it just an unbelievable year for all Washburn fans, and of course our players. Everybody will remember this year.
3 championships, in fact. Talk about the final step being at the Elite Eight, the championship game. What do you remember about it?
Well, we're trying to win a national championship. We're all business, to be quite honest, the whole way. The guys didn't celebrate that much on any of the championships, not like they probably should have. I didn't even let them celebrate the conference championship up in Rolla. They were pretty much all business, trying to get better right until the end. You know, what I'm going to remember is, I think you could dwell on some negatives in that championship game. What I'm going to remember is the great run we made in a tough situation against a great team, a team that had been there the last 4 years. We make a run and really have a shot to tie it. It rattles in and out with about 2 minutes to go. If that goes down, we probably win it, bypass them. It rattled out, they went down and hit one. And of course, that's history, but I'm going to remember the great run and how our guys never quit. And that was the way they played all year long.
I see so many coaching jobs open every year, Division I level. Do you still have that dream, or are you happy here?
Well, they need to call me and find out what a really good job is. I mean, these are the best fans, the best administration. I get Kansas kids, basically, that are great kids, and we can win championships. The crowd loves the fans. The crowd loves the coaches. And the coaches and players love the crowd. I mean, it's a beautiful relationship. It's a great place. Topeka to raise kids, and my family loves it here. This is the best job. You know, I see coaches changing jobs and taking jobs, and you know, when they probably had a job where it has been a perfect fit. I think this is probably the perfect fit for me, and I don't know if I was smart enough to realize it or just lucked into it, but I'm so thankful that I'm able to coach here at Washburn University.
I know thousands of people are glad to have you here. Thanks for spending some time with us, and congratulations on a great season.
Thank you, Mark.
With Bob Chipman, when we return, we talk to Dr. Jerry Farley, the Washburn University president, when 13 Men continues.
I mean, students' support just was awesome this year, especially about midway through the year. You know, we got on a little roll, and they just really started coming out and supporting us. The administrative staff is just unbelievable. They have great respect and great enthusiasm for our team, and we totally appreciate all that they've done for us.
Everybody knew they had to get their classroom work done and they had to go to practice, and everybody, you know, those two things is on their mind throughout the whole year.
Academically, Washburn is a very tough institution, and just to come and to basketball practice every day maybe is a little bit of, you know, stress relief from the academics, and so in that respect, it helps us a lot to come to basketball practice.
And welcome back to Lee Arena. Washburn University had a special basketball team and is also a special school. And here to talk about it is Dr. Jerry Farley. You know, a lot of administrators who are on the academic side will not push athletics as much as you have. It's been a great marriage so far, don't you think?
Oh, Washburn is much better school because of athletics. The students that come here are students and athletes. We've actually had some athletes that will reduce their athletic endeavors because they need to study. Now, that's the kind of environment that you want on a campus. And plus, the athletics just give such great pride and excitement to the campus.
Right, they're like the first thing people see. Around the country, they think of Washburn University, they think of their basketball. You guys have an amazing record of academians as well.
Once they saw Washburn University on CBS nationwide, people are calling, want to know what an Ichabod is actually, but people are calling about Washburn University.
Thank you very much. We're going to talk about basketball and Washburn University. Here's Kara Connolly to show you how.
It's a Washburn tradition. These bells ring every half hour on campus. Washburn supporters hope their basketball team's performance this year is a sign that a new tradition is building on campus. And they hope that tradition will inspire more students to apply to their university.
I think this is the best thing that could happen to Washburn. We aren't really well known for our sports programs with K-State and KU within a good driving distance, and we're always overshadowed by their sports programs. So with Washburn's success, that's kind of putting our name on the map.
Admissions director April Hansen says basketball could be a way to introduce Washburn to students all over the country.
We've never had exposure on this level before, and while we're pretty well known regionally, this is a next step, obviously, into getting some even more national exposure.
Hansen says people who saw Washburn on TV have been calling for more information on the school.
The people that did see us and now are interested in exploring the university will be followed up on very quickly and responded to with more information that will help them possibly choose Washburn.
Workers are close to completing Washburn University's new Living and Learning Center, and school leaders hope that all the attention the school got during the basketball tournament will help them bring in new students to fill up this brand new residence hall.
There's really never been a more exciting time to be coming to Washburn.
Hansen hopes that the Ichabod's success in basketball will encourage more students from all over the country to become a part of the Washburn tradition. Kara Connolly, 13 News.
Thank you, Kara. And with Dr. Farley once again, this facility is starting to have some expansion. Talk about it a little bit.
Oh, it really is just a reflection of the excitement for the program, because we are going to expand this floor actually out into the arena, second level, where we will have classroom space, we'll have computer space for students to study, we'll have new coaches' offices where they can actually get a number of players in their offices at the same time, and we'll have space for fans to get closer to the field, closer to the court, because we're going to move the end zone seats in and really make this an intense environment, hopefully to give us that little advantage when we're playing at home.
It's already pretty intense. Talk about this basketball program, the university and the city of Topeka, and how they mix.
You know, this year's team was such a great experience for the university because they liked one another, they played together as a team. They showed us that you can really get along with one another, and that permeated the university. I really think that the success this team has had, with the excitement this team has had, it could be the thing that galvanizes this community into really coming together and taking pride once again in being a Topekan, taking pride in our community rather than the bickering and the fighting that we've sometimes seen in the community. This team could be the reason that we pull all that together and everyone's excited about Washburn and everyone's excited about Topeka.
Dr. Farley, thanks for spending some time with us. Because I read the media guide, I do know that among the graduates at Washburn University is a Nobel Peace Prize winner in medicine. Is that correct?
That's
as well
correct.
As politicians and judges. When we return, we're going to talk about one of the most decorated players in Washburn University basketball history. When 13 Men continues.
He's a great guy, man. When I first got here, he made me feel real comfortable here. and let me know the team was behind us. And just watching him practice every day makes you want to be the best person you can be in basketball and in life as well.
He's somebody that I look to for advice, and because he knows the ropes, he's been here for 4 years, you know, so I really turn towards him. He's one of the main guys that I really turn to when I need somebody, you know, to talk to or for some encouragement, and he always helps me out.
Come back to our program honoring the basketball accomplishments of Washburn University. The first priority in covering the team is learning how to say the name. Iwan Ogist was a special player on a special team. Steve G takes a look.
Washburn All-American Iwan Ogist added a little island flair to the Elite Eight. He put the Ichabods on his shoulders and carried them to the championship game. In the semis against Western Washington, Ogist scored the first 17 points of the second half on his way to a career-high 29.
I was like, don't worry, I got you covered. And Melvin just looked at me and he smiled. I just went out there. I mean, there was that one stretch, that 5-minute stretch. I don't even know, like, it's like everything I did was just good. I mean, I was just rebounding the ball, playing defense. All my shots were going, even my free throws. I mean, just that 5-minute stretch, I'll remember that for a long time.
Iwan arrived on the game's biggest stage 4 years after he arrived from the island of St. Lucia in the West Indies.
You know, when he first got here, like Coach said, he was really raw. You know, I was one of the first players to, you know, kind of show him around town, and you know, to see what he's blossomed into, it's kind of like, wow.
What he blossomed into is a 2-time All-American and a 2-time conference MVP.
It's been a great career, but I mean, like, when I came in, I told Coach I was going to do that. It was, you know, like, the things you're talking about doing are very difficult. And I was like, I know, but I'm a very determined person. And
everybody probably look at him and say he's the best player on our team, but he was also the hardest working.
He's just a warrior. I mean, he comes in every day, practice or game, it doesn't matter. He's got his total attention, face ready to go, and I mean, everything's just business.
When the Nets ripple here, they send waves almost 3,000 miles away.
Everyone's been watching the games, you know, just congratulations, you know, tell me when I'm going to come back, and everyone just wants to see me and that kind of good stuff, you know, so it's been nice.
Thanks, Steve. And it's very difficult to single out one player because Washburn University had 4 players who scored in double figures, 5 seniors who played a big part, and every member on the team knew their role and understood it towards the success of this basketball program. When we return, we take a look at what a season would be without a little fun. The dance number when 13 men continues.
I'm not the best dancer on the team, so I just go with the flow.
Whose idea? Who sings? I mean, how did all this come about?
I think the seniors put it together. Just thought I could be a part of it.
It's been great. It's been really great. And hopefully, you know, it'll be something I'll never forget, and hopefully, you know, we can get back to where we were, you know, next year. You know, see if we can get back to the Final Four again.
And welcome back. Every season has a turning point. For the Washburn Ichabods, it was a loss at Pittsburgh State where the team decided it wasn't together as much as they could be. So they came up with something that involved rhythm, and here it is.
Main thing was just getting ready for a game, getting psyched up, ready for a game, having emotion start before you actually got on the floor.
That was something I think the Island boys put together or something. I don't know. We just, one day we just kind of all threw our arms around each other and just started doing something.
Dance just kind of, it evolved over every time we did it, you know, kind of wrinkle here, wrinkle there. And
To the front, to the front, to the front, to the back, to the back, to the back, to the back. Now dip, baby, dip. Come on now, dip.
It's a old rap song. It's something we use too, so put it all together.
What a great thing to have.
Yeah, it is. It's something I'll remember for a lifetime.
was a great dance. It was a lot of fun to watch. Maybe a tradition they will continue from year to year. It did show how close this team really was. It's time to close our program. The Washburn Ichabods, 29-5 national runner-ups, a great basketball team, a great basketball program. Enjoy your off season. For Kara Connolly and Steve G, this is Mark Ewing saying good night. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
This has been a 13 Sports special presentation. 13 Men, a Washburn championship season. Brought to you by Ed Bozarth Chevrolet.